Top 5 rap website, vinyl of the week number 16. Steely Dan, Countdown to Ecstasy. You know, I'm top 5 rap website, you know, but I'll also do the rock and jazz rock too. Steely Dan, Countdown to Ecstasy. This is their second album, so this is after their lead vocalist, David Palmer, left the group. He appears on their first album, Can't Buy a Thrill. David Palmer appears on their first album, Can't Buy a Thrill. He appears like on like 2 songs, but they ended up having Donald Fagen do all the lead vocals on this track, Countdown to Ecstasy. Donald Fagen, he's on the keys, and he's also playing the acoustic guitar. Walter Becker is on the guitar, bass, and on the harmonica. And I've got to shout out Denny Diaz, who mixed the record. He also has this great guitar riff at the end of My Old School. Denny Diaz, he just goes on this. It really took me back to Jimi Hendrix, like this real psychedelic, real just, I mean, you know, his guitar riff at the end of My Old School puts you in a tizzy, you know, puts you like in a cycle, you know, spin cycle. So shout out to Denny Diaz for that. I was actually listening to this album and I heard a couple sample moments, you know, this is 1973, so I heard a couple times where rappers sampled this album. Exhibit on the song X samples Boston Rag. The Boston Rag is one of my favorite songs in this album, and it kind of, you know, there's a section in the Boston Rag where it goes dun 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 dun. And that's the Ecstasy Exhibit song. There's also a John Legend song that Hit Boy produced. Hit Boy did Niggas in Paris with Jay-Z and Kanye. It's called WYW, and it also samples the Boston Rag. Let's take a look at this vinyl. Steely Dan, you know, he's a real talented dude. Donald Fagen, Walter Becker, you know, and some of the other people involved in this album. Razor Boy, that's one of my other favorite songs. Give me Sade vibes, you know, the lounge feel. This is rock, this is indie rock, but it's really jazz influence. So I would like to know who's Steely Dan, who are their influences. I hear like a lot of black music influences on this. It's real funky, it's real rhythmic, you know. So shout out to Steely Dan for being pioneers in their genre for their people for that time. Let's take a quick look. Oh, King of the World. This is the outro, one of the best outros I've ever heard. There's like so many sections on that song. It's amazing. Steely Dan, and again, we get some lyrics. I love when we get the lyrics, man. You see the Bodhisattva intro, Razor Boy, Boston Rag. Doesn't look like full lyrics. Looks like maybe little descriptions. And on the back there, you can see King of the World. That amazing, amazing outro. And of course, the vinyl itself. This is ABC Records. You guys know that logo, ABC. ABC/Dunhill. And if we could just take one look at that vinyl. Countdown to Ecstasy, Steely Dan. It got great critical reception. It wasn't a great commercially performing album, but this is a very respected album. If you listen to this album 1 or 2 times, you're gonna hear some hip hop records that have sample sections of this album. And this is Steely Dan's second album, of course, without David Palmer. Shout out to Donald Fagen, Walter Becker, ABC Records, Dunhill Records. This is Vinyl of the Week number 16. Top 5 rap website. Peace.